Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Music Mondays. It's your boy, Dom Slays. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. Hope you all had a good week, man. What's up? What's cracking? I hope you're well, man. Another Monday, another week down. Lots of good updates, lots of good stuff to talk about. We'll be going over something that kind of sparked a thought in me, and there's some other shit that that kind of interested me. Just another Monday's on. Let's get it. Yo, what's good, Mark? What's good, Dred? What's poppin'? Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys had a good week. So, you guys know the drill, per usual. What's good with updates? Well. Episode 73 of the Music Mondays podcast is live on our YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, if you missed it, go check that out. And of course, it's live on all audio platforms as well: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You guys know the drill. It's live everywhere. Now, there are a couple of things that we sort of put out over the last week that were pretty major in Music Mondays. But per usual, the podcast is out now from last week if you missed it. Our staff showcase number 2 with Michael Jones is also live. Make sure you go check that out on our Instagram and our socials. Our staff showcase is actually something you might not be familiar with. We haven't discussed it too much here on the podcast, but what the staff showcase really is basically what it sounds like. We showcase our staff members' work, whether they're designers, instrumentalists, vocalists, anything like that. State whether they're open for commissions, and then link their socials. We'll be doing that at least once a month, just to really show some love to our staff members, introduce everybody to our staff, and really try to connect the community a little bit more. So that's also live. This month it was Michael Jones, so he's open for design commissions and production commissions, so make sure you go check him out. I think that is about it for like super regular stuff. Friday we dropped a pretty substantial interview with Apartment 9. Our staff writer Ray Lowe sat down with Apartment 9 for a little bit after their Brooklyn show. They got to discussing a whole slew of topics, so make sure you go check that out. Go show Apartment 9 some love, go show Ray some love. That's a really, really good interview. Apartment 9 is doing a lot of really good things in his own career, so definitely happy that Ray got the chance to sit down and speak with them. So one last thing is SoundCloud Sunday volume 35 is also live on our SoundCloud. You guys know that every Sunday we drop a new SoundCloud playlist filled with the latest and greatest underground tracks. If you're ever interested in submitting for SoundCloud Sunday, make sure you follow us on socials. Make sure you follow us on SoundCloud. Submissions open for that every Wednesday, and this week was curated by me, so make sure you go show that some love, man, because this week's a really good one. Rubes, what's good, homie? What's good? What's poppin'? Happy Monday. What's cracking? I just hit the driest coil known to man. Someone call an ambulance. Jesus. Yo. Someone help Mark, man. Help Mark. So, before we get into submissions, I kind of had a thought that was lingering for me. But before we get into that, we'll just talk about a couple other things before we get into that. Cole, what's good, homie? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope you're well. What's cracking? So today's show is going to be a little bit more chill and laid back. We have a massive week up ahead for you on Music Mondays, man. I'm talking, I have like 3 different guests booked. We have a whole slew of new content coming out. I have a major staff meeting this week. We have a really busy week ahead at the Music Mondays offices. So make sure you follow us on socials. Make sure you follow us on Insta, Twitter, wherever else you use socials. We're there. New content, bro, when I tell you I have a busy week, this might be the busiest week in Music Mondays history. I'm going to be putting in overtime this week. So tonight, we're just going to kick it. We're going to have a chill show. We're not going to get too rowdy. I mean, shit, we never even fucking get rowdy in here anyways. We're always kicking it. But man, I'm talking, you guys are gonna love the new shit that I have in store, man. I'm not gonna speak too much on it. We're obviously gonna announce it on our socials beforehand. But as soon as everything is finalized, you guys will be the first to know. Big things is right. Big things is right, Mark. Let's get it, baby. So let me actually turn my AC on, and I have an interesting topic that I wanted to discuss on the channel with you guys, and something that I really like thought about, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, like this is so interesting, right? So, okay. All right. So, AC's on. We're good. We're cooking with heat. All right. So last night I went to go turn on my stream. Story time for all you guys here kicking it with me. Last night I turned on my stream and I saw a channel that definitely won't be named. They were live on YouTube, and I went to go check my sub box, and they were live on YouTube doing music reviews and listening to people's music. And the thing is like, I went in the chat, and like, it was a decent amount of viewers. I'd say like teetering between like 130, 160. So like a decent little audience, not like, you know, XQC level of things, but a decent audience nonetheless. And the thing that like really stuck out to me, right, was not only the fact that they were taking money for submissions, right? They were doing like you know, X amount of dollars for a song and X amount of dollars for like 2 beats or something like that. And I was like, you know, whatever, I'm not gonna knock anybody's fucking hustle, right? Everybody does things differently, because you guys know how we get down in the Music Mondays community. And the thing that really stuck out to me and like kind of really bothered me about this whole deal was not so much the money thing, right? Because it's like, that's a whole nother conversation. You guys know how I feel about that. But when songs would play, this motherfucker was just talking to chat, like, while the song was playing. And then, like, when the song was done, there was, like, 60 seconds of talking about the song at max, and moving on to the next song. And I was like, yo, like, it, like, made me rethink what I'm doing, right? Because, like, it's like, what the fuck? And, you know, there's, like, other factors, right? Like, this is why you can't really, like, compare, like, yourself to anybody, because everybody's situation's different. There are a lot of positives and negatives to a lot of things, right? And, exposure like that is not really exposure to me, because you're not really, like, putting spotlight on somebody. Like, I watched this person like steady talk over like 2 or 3 submissions, like while the submission was playing. And like, can you guys imagine if like I did that shit? And I was like, damn, like I do like 5-hour shows, stay up till like 1 a.m. I fucking do all this editing, I do all this like other shit, and I was like, if you were ever gonna charge money for that kind of thing, you at the very least have to do it in the fashion that I do it. Like, you can't sit there and fucking like take people's bread, and you know, exposure is really like something that's, it's gauged differently, right? Everybody has their own definition and, you know, whatever. But if you're gonna be taking people's bread, like, the least you could do is actually talk about the song. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy, because I can't ever see myself getting to that point. Like, we would just change how we do things around here. Like, I remember a long time ago, I think it was Bloodcat who brought it up. And Bloodcat was like, yo, what are you gonna do when you get like 50 or like 100 submissions or this or that and the third? Because I think the most we've ever gotten is like 21 or like 22 in a night. And truth be told, there's a lot of ways you could go about that. But one thing I wanted to discuss with you guys, old community members, new artists, you know, established artists, doesn't matter. Just know that that will never be this channel. This channel will never take your money and try to give you some kind of like weird fake not give a fuck exposure. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely care about this scene and the health of the underground, and getting people to see their dreams and become successful independent artists. I don't do this for like cuz like that's not like, I'm not interested in like establishing like some like fake community, right? Because like I could easily do like weird shit like that, right? Like, everybody's like, bro, you could, there's so many pages where they're just like, oh, $15 for promo, like, hit us for reposts and all this other shit. And like, that's just like not how I view things, right? And like that, like, it's not bashing, right? Like, I'm not sitting here trying to like knock another platform or another person's sort of like hustle or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But what kind of like really was the bigger point to me was like, it's sort of like, damn, like, it made me review what I do, because I was like, nah, like, that's like not right. You know what I mean? And like, it was almost like a refresher for me to be like, that's like the number one reason why I do Music Mondays the way that I do Music Mondays, right? Because you're not getting the quality experience and the quality like genuine care and effort and hours that other people think they're getting. Like, you're getting it here because you can't fake that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you genuinely can't fake that shit. And it's like overwhelmingly obvious when you do fake that kind of thing. Like truly, it's very obvious. And yeah, like, I agree with you, Bloodcat. Like I agree. The chat's very like, it's like such a casual chat. It really is. It's a hard one to measure, to be honest. If it's paid promotion stuff, it's like, I want to see analytics and the actual numbers behind anything before actually fronting any money for exposure type beat. Usually I don't promote shit like that unless they reach out to me on some I fuck with your shit vibes. Yeah, like, that's like really like how like I've always done things, right? And like you guys know my resume. Like, every company, every platform, every group that I've ever like been involved with has done things that way, as to where like we reach out to you because we want to create a platform that people want to be a part of. fucking Joe Schmo comes along and says, hey, I got fucking, 20 grand. Will you give me an interview and film a video and host this and do that? But his shit is like dog water. He's like saying crazy shit. Like, that's the type of shit that you like stay away from, because like what we're building here at Music Mondays, what I'm building as Zom Slays is way more important than like selling out for regular shit like that. You know what I mean? Did you get my Cash App? Can you play my track first? Yeah, like there's gotta be like different ways. You know what I mean? I think the way that we do it, not all publicity is good publicity, right? Right. Like, I think there's a few ways that we could do it, right? Like, we could verify that, like, like Twitch subs go first or something like that. Like I'm always gonna stick with like the core of like supporting us, right? Like, as long as you're supporting us, like, we have no problem doing that sort of thing. Like, and this is like, I'm thinking like, say we have like hundreds of reviews, right? I'm not talking any fucking time soon. Like, a one idea would be to like verify if you're a Twitch sub, or fucking verify if you're, this or that. Like, I just think taking cash and like taking PayPal payments for things that like I'd be doing anyways is like very wrong. It's very wrong to me, and it feels wrong, you know what I mean? Because there's so many artists out there that are extremely talented, and like platforms grow, and like you simply can't get to them all. Everybody knows that. So like there's better ways to go about it than like putting a price tag on it. You know what I mean? Like, because like subbing to the channel or something like that supports you too. You get no ads, you get emotes, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that is still giving you more than like what 15, 20 bucks of the fucking PayPal will get you. You know what I mean? Like, because you're still benefiting from that. You're like, okay, I'm in the stream anyway. Free ads, fucking this, that, and the third. I'm all good. Even there's the fucking Nightbot shit right there. Amazon Prime, you know what I mean? Shit. Like, there's so many ways that we'd go about it at Music Mondays to, like, stick with, like, our sort of way of doing things. You know what I mean? Very, very important that we do that, and like if like it ever becomes taxing on me, then we find an easier way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that as to where like I just kind of give up, because I'm not trying to be like everybody else. This platform isn't like everybody else, and you guys have known that since like day one. And that kind of shit is very important to me, and not something you'll ever see us doing. You know what I mean? Like, shit, even if one day that I get so busy and somebody else is doing the show, and like I come on, for fucking, like once a month or something like that. Like, say that happens one day. Like, it's got to be a person who can fill my sort of shoes, right? And like my sort of passion. And that's just something that I really thought we needed to at least have on the table, you know what I mean? Because like that type of shit is like, it's all different, It's all different, like per platform, or per like how you want to do things. But I don't really have to ramble on too much about this, but you guys know where I came up in the underground, and the things that I've like given to this space and lost, and things that I've seen, and like how much I've been a like fan, like a genuine fan of this space before anything. Like, because like that's what's important, right? Like, that's what makes all these weird journalists and things like that like relevant, is because they're fans of the space. But I was blessed enough to have both spectrums and really create some wonderful music with a lot of wonderful people. And it's just so important to stick to what you love. And yeah, so huge shout out to the Music Mondays family, huge shout out to all the new artists, all the older artists, everybody who comes through, supports us. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, that is that. But like I said, nobody gives a fuck about any other platform out here but the one that we're talking about here live today on Music Mondays. And that's us. That is fucking us. And like I said, we have a massive, massive week ahead. Yeah, just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. You guys are gonna love this shit, and you guys will know ahead of time what's going down. So, without further ado, let's pull up our submissions. Tell me why I went to go open up submissions and I opened up another Twitch tab. It's just like fucking second nature, bro. It really is. Oh yeah, check out the new emotes. I didn't have time to take off the background of the Pepe. I still like it though. Okay, we got our subbies on the way. Marco the Train, baby. Let's get it. Okay, so let's switch screens. You guys know the drill. Let's pause that. So, if you're new here, if you've been here, you guys already know what I'm about to say, but this is for the new folks out there. You're like, yo, how do I get a review? How do I get on the podcast? When can I tune into the podcast? Well, this is how you fucking do it. We take submissions via Twitter. That's one reason, and it's to keep the show free flow, give respect to everybody who does support the Music Mondays page, does look forward to submissions every week, and to really help grow our platform as well. So if you're ever interested on getting on the show and things like that, make sure you're following us on Twitter. And we take submissions via these tweets every Tuesday that go live after the show. So, if you're watching here live, it is Monday. If you're watching on YouTube, submissions should already be live for our next show. But these tweets will go live every Tuesday, and they read as follows. Artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 6/20/22 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So, contrary to our name, like I always say, we spotlight and review all art forms here on Music Mondays, including music production, instrumentals, live instruments, designs, merchandise, vlogs, short films, edits, music videos, you name it, we have reviewed it here on Music Mondays. So if you're an independent creative, if you're an underground creative, if you think what you do is important and you want to show it off to the world and the Music Mondays community, feel free to drop a submission. And of course, the only thing that we do ask, no payments, no, none of that. The only thing that we ask is that you're following the Music Mondays Twitter page. And once again, this is to give respect to the people that submit every week, the ones who do look forward to their submissions, to help grow the page and to keep the show very, very free flow. So that's the only thing that we do ask is you follow us. And of course, submissions close about an hour or so before the show goes live. And that just about does it, man. I don't think we have anything else to go over. We can dive right in. Now, of course, I always go in pretty blind to these. I managed to take like one or two looks before we go live with the show. But we can count these up here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 subbies. Okay. Let's get into this. Let's get it. Okay, so first up on the list, and usually first up every week, literally the first submission like every fucking time, is Absono. And you guys know the drill with Absono, but Absono is definitely one of the leading scorers when it comes to um production here on Music Mondays, and producers really treating themselves like artists. And on top of it, Epsono is a real pleasure to have around the Music Mondays community, and really is working with so many wonderful Music Mondays artists, man. Epsono is really putting on. So I am interested to check this out. This week, Epsono submitted a track titled Glory, and it's Prod Epsono and Matt Rocks. Interesting. Wait. So this is probably a collab beat, or Matt might have vocals on here. Nobody spoil it if you know, because I'm kind of curious. This will be interesting. Okay, obviously private track, so no aesthetics, but of course, your Music Mondays exclusive unreleased Absono track Glory, Plot Absono, and Matt Rocks. Let's check this out. Interesting. That was fucking great. That was a real blend of some shit, man. This shit's hard. I agree, Dread. That was a trip, man. That was a trip. That was like some of the most unique kind of shit I have heard in a minute. I'm not gonna lie. This is good. So you guys know the drill. Obviously, no vocals here. So we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Glory. So off the rip, the mix is fucking great. Not too much going on, but there is enough going on as to where like the mix would be a concern, obviously. But no, not at all. The mix is great. Everything's really knocking. All the mells, the bass is great. Everything's really, really evenly spread across the board. I like this mix a lot. Very tight. Um, right off rip, I'd say the melody is definitely something that like makes this song, and it's very Glory kind of melody, very like it's like teetering on some like fight scene kind of shit, but not really. It's almost darker. It's almost darker than like something theatrical. But regardless, melody's a big outlier here for me, and I love this melody a lot. I don't know who did what. I don't know if Epsona was on drums or Matt was on drums or who did Mel. Regardless, doesn't matter. This Mel's crazy. Um, Definitely a 10 out of 10 Mel for me. It's just one of those ones that like stick with you. Um, for sure. Anime villain archetype beat. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly that. Like it wasn't like fight scene yet, but it's definitely like it really is a bit darker. So it's such a great melody. But drums are relatively simple. Nothing too um much because the melody really does all the work here. You don't really want a crazy melody and crazy drums because you got too much going on, especially if you want an artist on your beat. But everybody knows that. You guys know where I'm going. Um but yeah, man, a relatively simple drums really made this track flow nicely. I'd say the structure was great. The sound selection was also very, very good, especially with this bass. The bass is something that like I really enjoy. Gave it that like futuristic kind of darker tone. Along with the melody, of course. But yeah, man, sound selection, everything's great on that end. Um, and even with the drums as knocking as they are, nothing was clashing or too overbearing, which was good. Um, just another ode to the solid mix. Um, and I'd say another one of my favorite parts, though, again, would have to be the structure. I really do enjoy the structure. It's a very on-go structure. I could see a couple of different artists eating this in a few different styles, for sure. But yeah, man, this is a collab for the century. I like these two on collabs, for sure. For sure, for sure. Um, Now, of course, no overall aesthetic theme here. Private, unreleased exclusive. So I can imagine if this is released as an instrumental or an artist does hop on this, an instrumental titled Glory could really spread wide in a range of what could be used as a cover. So I really, really do hope that the cover goes fucking hard for whatever and whoever goes with this beat. Now, much like we were discussing, sort of like a darker tone to like almost like a little bit of it like a theatrical um sort of feeling. Um Definitely anime villain archetype beat. Glory is another like great ode to that. I really feel like Glory is another thing that it's almost like a very redemption kind of futuristic yet alternative trap style. It really is. Like this is one of the most unique trap instrumentals I've heard in a minute. Just because the melody's so prominent and it's not really like a melody that's like you can't like pick it out of the fucking box and be like, oh, that's that's a future Mel, that's a fucking little baby Mel, that's a that's a Bones Mel, that's a whoever. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is definitely very unique, and I love it for that. I love it for that, and this is really what you want. You know what I mean? And that's why collabs are great, especially between the two artists like this, because you get such real organic kind of sounds and music, and really just like exchange ideas and collaboration is so key to art, man. And I think these two, Epsono and Matt Rocks, nailed it. So with that said, huge shout out to Epsono. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Epsono on SoundCloud per usual. And Make sure you follow Absono on Twitter at ProdAbsono. Every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, we're on our road to 60 subscribers, so huge shout out to everybody who has already subscribed. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. We upload 2 times a week, Music Monday segments, new segments, full podcast episodes. Go check us out. And go show these artists some love, of course. Every artist featured in the description. Check the description. Absono becoming one of my favorite prods. I really, really love Absono's work ethic and Absono's like enthusiasm to just want to make great music. Like, I think that's something that's so respectable and so like you know, a lot of you guys have that trait. Like so many, like 95% of the Music Mondays community has this like burning fire passion. And if you don't talk about it, you probably just have it anyway. You just don't talk about it. But it's really, really great to see, and I love the trains that everybody's been going on lately, man. Truly. So, up next, we got the homie Lord Heretic. And if you don't know, Heretic has released a brand new project which they submitted a track for titled And Still I Wept. And Heretic has got to be the leading scorer here on Music Mondays for heavier vocals, heavier instrumentals, just real alternative, almost teetering on a trap metal kind of sounds. Truly. Had this shit on repeat all day at work for a crazy album. It is one of the more pure bodies of work I've heard in a minute when it comes to an album. I think there was only like a handful of them this year that I heard. Fury and Michael come to mind. A couple artists come to mind, but Heretic definitely fucking nailed it with this drop for sure. And like prior to this album, I've said it damn near every submission, Heretic's the leading scorer when it comes to heavier sounds for sure, whether it be instrumentals, vocals, and really just one of those artists that you better work with now before they sort of like start building this foundation for themselves. Because man, so many artists are really just really growing into themselves, and it's such a great thing to see. So let's check out Lord Heretic's submission. Now, you guys already know how I feel about this cover, but one of the more grittier, grimy design styles that I've seen, not only for Heretic, but in general. This art's done by Trash Art, extremely talented artist. Really just goes above and beyond to put the extra grime into things and really make them like almost come to life, yet make them such a fantasy. So this is such a good album cover. Like 10 out of 10 album cover for sure. Got some love on the track for sure. 216. So let's see what Lord Heretic has in store for us, man. Let's check this out. Cinematic.
It's just me and I'm breaking your back out. We don't really need no more conversation. Get close off, you can feel what I'm saying. From when I fucked up, I think I'm a luxury. Pouring my lean and my grief from my head top. She ain't a virgin, but she on demand hoe. Yeah, I call scholar, she giving to face. That shit is stellar, I'm flying in space. Focus on right if I'm wrong in the space stage. We need a big cake, can we just jump on that brother? We break face, we no bait face.
Man, let's go. Let's fucking go. So, um, you know, what else can you say? Like, there aren't too many artists out here, especially in the Music Mondays community, that are doing more alternative, harder style tracks and records and everything like Heretic is, for sure. So fuck all the talking. Let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, instrumental for what it is right off rip. Cinematic is a producer that Heretic has definitely worked with a few times in the past. Definitely known for a lot of their heavier kind of instrumentals, and Heretic for sure knows what he likes in that regard. So I can tell why this was a easy choice. But the mix, great. You can't really have a problem with any of Heretic's mixes because Era is pretty much the go-to when it comes to Heretic's mixes. You see them under a lot of Heretics tracks, if not a majority of them. And I'd say this mix and master is something else. Something else. Now, not too loud and overbearing for a heavier kind of track, but also everything still knocks. Like, everything is perfect. You can hear the eights clearly. You can hear the clicks clearly. Heretic's vocals are crisp. So, right off rip, instrumental, perfect. I'd say, obviously, one of my shining stars here has got to be the 808. The 808 is quite a special kind of tool. It really is. And in a lot of Heretics tracks, it's almost treated like a feature, and in most cases, it's like another melody because the 808, can take up such a wide range of so many tracks, and this is no different. Truly, the 808's damn near a third feature. So really, really, just another big shout to the mix because this 808 really, really knocks. So, vocals. I'm a huge fan of Heretic's vocal style. I always have been, especially, like I always say, when it comes to heavier vocals. But on this track in particular, Heretic blended a decent amount of screaming and a decent amount of, like, darker tone kind of rap bars and like, really wrapped them all in some, like, decent flows around this kind of cinematic instrumental here. And, it really takes a special kind of artist to make more than just screaming vocals, right? Because anybody can scream on a hook and really scream on a verse and do that and do that. But Heretic really went above and beyond here and really crafted a true kind of record here when it comes to alternative heavy kind of trap. Because the hook is great. It brings a lot of heaviness into this track, and then his verse, and then along with Fix's verse, which we'll talk about in a second, really offsets that heaviness and really, like, makes for a good blend of like different style rap and like sort of like an alternative style of trap. So that's one big advantage with Heretic that some artists just don't have the ability to do, is to truly spit in between heavier hooks, choruses, versus anything like that. And Heretic definitely has that ability. So huge shout out to this track for that. Now, Fix is another reason why I like features coming in and doing their own thing. Because Fix almost sort of tried to adapt to what Heretic was spitting on his verse yet sort of didn't stray too far from what Fix is. So it was that perfect blend of like sort of heavier style, like, okay, tag me in kind of shit. And on top of it, it was, we got to see a little bit about what Fish is as an artist, in regards to their sounds and, how they get on beats and instrumentals and what kind of lyrics they're writing. And this is like a good feature choice, and I like what they did on this track. I believe this is the first time we've ever um heard anything from Fix when it comes to Heretic. I don't think we've heard any tracks. So Fix was definitely a great feature choice on this. And you guys know that rule of thumb, and Fix definitely nailed it when it comes to really just becoming yourself on a track and really like bringing something of your own to the table. So huge shout out to Fix for that. All in all, vocals are great here. This is a real action-packed 2 minutes and 16 seconds. This is like a fucking action movie, because definitely one of those tracks that makes you want to move, but at the same time, it's one of the slower kind of like a bob your head tracks as well. Because there are some tracks on this album where it just makes you want to move. But this is definitely one of those tracks it could do either or, and I think that's a great range to have. So, let's talk a little bit about the theme here. Now, a track title, we could go on a history lesson about that, but at the same time, Heretic's one of those artists when it comes to lyrics. There are a whole range, like a whole fucking range of things that they're discussing in their tracks, truly. Now, this track in particular, Heretic went really crazy on sort of not only this song but the whole album in regards to almost being a more in your face kind of aggressive style of Heretic, but again, wrapping the verses in like sort of like a pullback, right? Because it's just like, okay, let me unleash all this fire in the hook, and then the verses just pull it back. And I think that's such a like testament of like becoming, more of yourself as an artist and really getting into your shell and like your form, and like you're really like molding yourself, and you're like, okay, I know what I can do with this track. Like, let's do this, let's put this here. And I felt like this is one of those tracks where Heretic got pretty creative when it comes to not only writing but performance recording. This hook is something else. So theme is great. And really more so one of those tracks where you see why Heretic is such a leading scorer when it comes to a heavier type of sound. Like, Heretic can work with so many artists on so many things from heavy metal bands to heavier vocalists to rappers to singers to electronic vocalists. It's like so many different types. So this track is real proof of that. Now, of course, aesthetically, we already talked a little bit about the And Still I Wept cover. We've talked about it a bit before in the past, but huge shout out Trash Art. Simple yet effective album cover. And definitely, if like Heretic's sound had an image, this would be it. This would for sure be it. 10 out of 10 from me. And of course, track styling is great. Featuring Fix, Prod Cinematic. Everything's good. Mix and master by Era. Yeah, man, this is definitely one of the ones you can't sleep on And Still I Wept, without a doubt. Make sure you go check that album out. Go check this track out in particular. Huge shout out to Lord Heretic for the submission. Thank you, homie. Much, much fucking love. Make sure you follow Lord Heretic on SoundCloud. He's approaching 750. He is 80 away. Go show him some love, man. And of course, make sure you follow Lord Heretic on Twitter and every artist featured in today's episode. And every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Excuse me. So, we have been cranking, chat. We have been cranking. This is excellent. Huge shout out everybody who's tuned in, showing love tonight. Let me get a drink of water and we'll continue on. What's good? How's everybody's Monday? I need all the lurkers in there to fucking type something in the chat right now. Mouth is dry. So, I think, yeah, Lil Teflon is an artist that we have reviewed before, but man, has it been a minute. It's been a fucking minute, chat. I'd have to say, mm, maybe even 2021. Maybe even 2020. It's been a long time since we heard from Lil Teflon. Not like long. It hasn't been like fucking years. I make it sound like fucking, you know, been it's definitely been a minute. I'll say that. It's definitely been a minute. Same tier as Lil Wet Chat. Let's fucking go, Mark. Let's go. Lil Teflon is definitely a fucking hard ass name, without a doubt. So this is not a visual, which is good because you guys know about our new media order. And if you don't know about our new media order, basically our new media order where we'll be going through audio tracks first, and then we'll be wrapping back around to all visuals and other forms of media like art, edits, things like that. So, my journey. Like I said, it's been a while since we've heard anything from Lil Teflon, and they submitted a track titled "My Journey." It's prod The Unkillable. It's from October 7th of 2021. Lots of love here. Lots of love here. Okay. Okay. 2 minutes 7 seconds. Let's see the description. More updates on music. I fuck with it. Okay. All right. It's been a minute. So, Lil Teflon, My Journey, prod Unkillable. Actually, before we get into it, let's crank the quality. Oh shit, we got 480. All right. Super sound. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Yeah, that money on my mind. Yeah, so I just wanna shine. Turn up, turn up, turn up. That money on my mind, so I just wanna shine. My heart is on the line. I know it's my time to take it to the max. So I'ma stack.
Okay.
And once I'm on the journey, I ain't coming back. Yeah, that money on my mind, so I just wanna shine. My heart is on the line. I know it's my time to take it to the max. So I'ma stack. And once I'm on the journey, I ain't coming back. Hoping I make it, I know I got family to feed. Still gotta watch for the thieves. Lock on my heart, only you got the key. Surely one day you gon' have my seat. I'm on the mission to be the greatest. Wanna be around them smiling faces. Used to be friendly, we turn to strangers. I ain't even mad, I'ma keep it play. You call it fantasy, I call it future goals. You a hater, I suppose. This is the life that I chose. Water me like a plant and watch me grow. Be in the studio cooking up. I do what I do, I just wanna be heard. Forget about the beat, just hear my words. Walking the more, you know I'm a splurge. They put me last, now I'ma go first. Wish for the best, I'm prepared for the worst. All on my own, gotta put in the work. Know to stay plotting, I'm staying alert. Wanna go far, never look back. Be in my bag, as soon as I rap. Stay out the streets, I know it's a trap. That's why they call it the trap. Got money on my mind, so I just wanna shine. My heart is on the line. I know it's my time to take it to the max. So I'ma stack. And once I'm on the journey, I ain't coming back. Yeah, that money on my mind, so I just wanna shine. My heart is on the line. I know it's my time to take it to the max. So I'ma stack. And once I'm on the journey, I ain't coming back. Yeah.
Bitch. I like that. I like that, man. That was dope. Nah, I fuck with that. I fuck with that for sure. Okay, man. Interesting. Like I said, it's been a minute since we heard from Lil Teflon, so it's like, shit. What this motherfucker been on, you know? So, okay. Let's get into it. Let's talk about 3 things. We're going to talk about the instrumental here. We're going to talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of My Journey. So, right off rip, I'm in love with this instrumental. It's like got this perfect balance of like really chill, like, sound selection with the melodies, and the fucking 808s and the drum choices are great. This is like such a nice balance of like the very like look, like keep your head up kind of beat. It really is kind of like it's just one of those sounds that makes you feel motivated isn't the word, but there's a word I'm trying to think of. It just makes you feel positive. It's a very like positive kind of instrumental. And it's really starting with this foundation of this melody. Like this fucking melody is great. Very ethereal, peaceful, kind of cloud like, and not even the genre, like very sounds like a cloud. Like it's a very, very great sound choice. Um so melody's definitely a huge shining star when it comes to the instrumental. I think Unkillable killed it. So, um drums were great. Um Simple drums, but not a bad thing at all because Teflon really grabbed up the rest of that room and really like um made this track his own with what was left here. I feel like this instrumental could hold on its own as like just an instrumental release, but I feel like it did have the perfect amount of space for an artist to get on. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. But simple drums, good drums, and all in all the mix was good with everything. Um Drums were definitely solid and really like decently knocking, but they didn't overpower the melody or anything like that. Everything was really in line. Everything was really tightened up for this instrument. Yo, Kale, what's good, homie? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. So, let's talk about vocals. Let's talk about vocals here. So, a Teflon definitely has a very like authentic, raw, not like bad raw, but like a raw kind of vocal mix, and I like it for that. Mix is great, especially for the kind of ranges and hooks that Teflon uh, does in this track. Definitely solid mix for sure. Now, Shining Star, 100% has got to be the hook, without a doubt, a hook. I can't really think of anything to compare it to because, like I said, it's been a minute since we heard from Lil Teflon, but nonetheless, it's like well written, but like even more so, it's well performed. It is truly well performed. I like the way this hook is recorded a lot. Um, and much like the track title, My Journey, definitely kept on theme with sort of like talking about Teflon's journey and things like that. We'll talk a little bit about that in the theme, but all in all, I really feel like this is one of those like very on brand tracks when it comes to having a message and a theme and things like that. So I feel like Teflon nailed it when it comes to creating a hook that's almost inspirational. That's the word, inspirational. This is a very inspirational melody. Back when I was talking about the instrumental, that was the word I'm looking for. It's a very inspirational kind of melody. And talking about your journey is like the perfect vibe for this beat. So I could tell why Teflon sort of chose to write to it in this way. But on top of the hook, verses were good. Everything was recorded and performed really good. And I feel like Teflon definitely another shining star for me. It's got to be the flows and the cadences. Definitely hit some really good like stylish kind of cadences, but yet like really kept it like simple and laid back enough to be able to like spit and get his point across, but it's still a little bit of like a makes you pop your head a little bit. So I like this track for what it is. It's very like inspirational but like peaceful. Definitely something you could kick back and smoke to for sure and just vibe out to. But all in all, vocals, I'm a huge fan of these vocals without a doubt. um like I said, been a minute since we heard from Lil Teflon, so this is a pleasure. um let's talk about the theme here now. um I love the cover aesthetically. Like, let's talk about this cover for a second, because the track is called My Journey, and what better way to visually describe your journey than a street sign? And it's like, you know, you always remember the streets you grew up on and the corners you hung out at and the places you used to go, like when you were younger and shit. And man, if this doesn't ring bells, I don't know what will. I love the message here aesthetically. So such a great choice for a track with this type of lyrical content. And speaking of lyrical content, let's talk about the overall theme underneath this song and the message, really. Teflon's talking about his journey and really on the more inspirational side of things, and really like how Teflon's gonna get his end of shit regardless of what happens, regardless of his journey, the future, you, this, me, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? And that's always a solid message to have in anything, but especially when it comes to music, you get to mold it in your message. And I think Teflon really took this opportunity to take an inspirational kind of beat choice here and really send off this message with a bang and really be like, okay, like I'm gonna spit my shit in this. So I love the message here lyrically 100%. I really think it was beneficial for sure, and I really think the cover complements the theme 100%. But yeah, all in all, great theme, well written. Hook is definitely a big shining star here. Now, like I said, it's been a minute since we've heard from Lil Teflon, but this was a pleasant surprise for sure. So, with that said, huge shout out to Lil Teflon. Make sure you show him some love. 2.2K on YouTube. Go show him some love, man. For real. And, of course, per usual, make sure you follow Lil Teflon on Twitter at Lil Teflon. And every artist featured in today's episode, and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. We upload 2 times a week. If you're already subscribed, thank you. We upload basically everything on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so don't miss out on a lot, man. Go show these artists Music Monday some love. So, this is actually a visual by King Mark, and I haven't seen this, and I'm very excited to check this out. So we'll keep that on hold. And up next, wait. Let's back up here. How many we hit up? We got Epsono, we're good. Heretic, we're good. Teflon, we're Gucci. Mark, we're gonna wrap back around too. Up next, we got Lil Skunky. Offspring will wrap back around too. Matt Rocks. And then we got Cole, Dread, Kale. And 2 brand new artists, I believe. So we'll check those out, of course. So, let's bop right into this, man. Let's see what we got here. So this week, it looks like Bloodcat submitted. Okay, what do we have here? Interesting. Okay. So we have a Matt Rocks track, but it's a Bloodcat remix titled Fashion from 2 days ago. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. This is very, very interesting. I'm intrigued. Who knows what we're about to get into here, chat? Who knows what we're about to get into here? Okay. So, if you guys don't know, you know, Bloodcat is not only one of the biggest pleasures to have around the Music Mondays community. Always very active, always showing love, always making jokes. Just really good vibes from Bloodcat. And on top of it, though, amazing work ethic, extremely talented. Some of my favorite visuals we've ever had on Music Mondays. Recently, me and Bloodcat did an interview. Make sure you go check that out on allmusicmondays.com if you'd like to show some love to Bloodcat. There's too many good things I could say about Bloodcat, man. Really a shining star. Really, without a doubt. Burma will come Saturday. Back BCAT for a week. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Buckhat. I love this one. Thank you for putting up my ramblings on. No, your rambling was great. Your rambling was great. That's what I love to see. Because like during interviews, like I'd rather have an artist like go over, like way over than like under when it comes to information, right? Because not enough is just like that's okay too, but over like over the kind of like you want to give people like the whole story, and when artists do that, it's always a good thing. Always a good thing. Not that you need to do that during interviews, if you're an artist out there, but you know, don't be afraid to talk your shit, because you know that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? Go fucking brazy. And me and Bloodcat definitely had one of those lengthy, in-depth conversations that you are going to love to find if you're a fan of Bloodcat's music, without a doubt. So, let's get back on track here. Matt Rocks, Fashion, Bloodcat remix. Let's check this out.
But what you want from me, you can't get none for free. Sipping on low in the back, you get me top like color fake taxi. Run through my hood, you know we taxi. Yo shit, yeah, we made your jacket. Yeah, what size you wear, little homie? Yeah, I really like your jacket. Yeah, all about my fashion, I'm an icon. My bitch only dressed in the latest shit when I lie. I'm feeling just like Uzi, my bitch call me mine. I'm making all this thing, you can call it tyrant, okay? I'm all in. I'm over here making all these trends anyway. I haven't even started. I'ma change the game. They gon' know my name. I won't change up for the chain. Oh, a chain. Ain't no slide to this game. Wait, 300 and it's stacks inside the plate. While I'm posted out, I'm in this LA. Who the fuck is you? Oh, you a lame boy. You always on the same boy. You hungry for in my style, they copy and paste. They know that I'm on the way. Shit that I seen, I take it to the grave. Give me the joy and call me a play. Boy, what you want from me? You can't get none for free. Sipping on low in the back, you get me top like color fake taxi. Run through my hood, you know we taxi. Yo shit, yeah, we made your jacket. What size you wear, little homie? Yeah, I really like your jacket. All about my fashion, I'm an icon. My bitch only dressed in the latest shit when I lie. I'm feeling just like Uzi, my bitch call me mine. I'm making all this thing, you can call it tyrant. I'm a stylish, way more stylish than Billie Eilish. I don't need no stylist, hang in a fucking pirate. And I ain't fucking stopping till I get a fucking island. I'm a fucking body. I'm a stylish, way more stylish than Billie Eilish. I don't need no stylist, hang in a fucking pirate. And I ain't fucking stopping till I get a fucking island. Some Billie Eilish, way more stylish than Billie. Way more stylish than Billie. I'm a stylish, way more stylish than Billie Eilish. Way more stylish than Billie. Way more stylish than Billie Eilish. I don't need no stylist. I'm in a fucking pirate, and I ain't fucking stopping till I get a fucking island. Anything I want, I'm a fucking body.
Hey, what the fuck? Hey, Matt Rocks, pop star, rockstar. Let's fucking go. Okay, the stems for most of these remixes will be available on my website when this drops for free, like on the day. You hear that, motherfuckers? Alright, I'll say it one more time for you motherfuckers in the back. The stems for most of these remixes will be available on my website when this drops for free, like on the day. Like on the day. Okay, so don't miss that opportunity, because that's just a great chance to make some awesome music, man. And that's how you do things, and that's how you really make a long-lasting impact on not only artists, but your supporters. So, great idea, Bloodcat. Now, let's get into this. You guys know the drill. Talk about 3 things. We're going to break down 3 things. 3. We'll talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. And we're going to talk about the overall theme of fashion. So, Um, man, right off rip, Matt sounds great on these like alternative kind of pop beats. I like I have a couple of these instrumentals laying around. I have tracks Modelo Time. There's a couple of them. I forget what the fuck my other tracks like this were called, but regardless, these beats are so fun to fucking make. Like these beats have to be some of the funnest instrumentals I have ever made. Um there's nothing like fucking getting like off of like fucking like 3 cups of coffee, fucking sitting in the studio and you're just fucking jamming out making this kind of shit, bro. And it's like perfect. This is perfect. Right off rip, mells are great. Everything's mixed really, really good when it comes to mells. Sound selection's great. You didn't go to sort of like trap style when it comes to drum sounds and uh like instrumentals and things like that. That's how you know I do uppers. And dude, this is like, bro, like, cause like caffeine, right? Like caffeine is like, man, this is like one of those things that you just love making off caffeine. So, um, males are great, mix is great. Nothing's too clashy, overbearing. Like I said, I love the sound selection. It wasn't too like, sort of, like oh yeah. It wasn't too sort of like trappy or like even like alternative. This was like alternative pop through and through. He saved it. Yeah, I was like, wait, lose my train of thought. But yeah, no, I love the sound selection here. Sound selection's great. Um, and the minimalist approach is also awesome, especially when you're putting vocals on something like this. But even more so important for sort of pop tracks like this, where you have like, you know, faster BPMs, you have different types of scales, and you have all types of different things going on here to, you know, really pay attention to when it comes to making a track like this. And I think this instrumental is a great foundation. A great foundation. And it's tagged dance and EDM. And holy fuck, if this doesn't make you want to dance and fucking just jam out, dude, holy fuck. This is definitely it. For sure, this is it. Excuse me. So, instrumental is great. Instrumental is great. Now, let's talk a little bit about vocals here. Now, I've always been a huge fan of Matt's vocals and Matt overall as an artist. When it comes to genre, when it comes to cadences and flows, writing, Matt's truly one of the elite here on Music Mondays and in the underground in general. You don't come across too many Matt Roxas. And of course, there's only one, but in terms of their talent and skill, man, no, you don't. So, vocals are great. I like Matt when it comes to making kind of like pop, you know, alternative pop leaning kinds of tracks. I think Matt could definitely get down when it comes to this shit, man. Just crazy vibes on this. Crazy vibes on this. And, you know, lyrically, I'd say the writing is like it didn't like surprise me. I'd say it more intrigued me. I was definitely intrigued when it comes to this writing. Because Matt's definitely more on the I wouldn't say like serious side, but definitely very poetic and more emotional when it comes to writing. And this style of writing was more so like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Kind of writing. And Matt just has this kind of like swag. It's this rare swagger that like it's like I don't know, kind of like pop your collar type shit going on in this track. Um, you know, like the Spider-Man 3 fucking Peter Parker fucking yeah, Roxy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Buckcat. Exactly. But just kind of like the Peter Parker vibes walking down the road like you're just that's the shit I picture Matt on during this track, and I love it. So with that said, flows are great. Cadences are great. Writing is really up there with some of my more favorites. And I like when Matt has like this like consistent kind of sound and writing style, and then like just like sticks like, you know, like one or two different kind of sounding things in there, or like, you know, you find a feature, or, you know, you find a beat that is, you know, not, you know, the typical Matt sound, and you're like, ooh. And it makes for a good, it really makes for a good library, to be honest with you, because you have this like, okay, like I know what Matt sounds like in my head, and then you pop out with tracks like these and you're like, damn, this is heat. You know what I mean? You're like teasing genres, and I love that. So that's a great thing. So writing, excellent. A vocal mix, excellent per usual. But no surprise there. Vocals on Matt's end are always great. I just really like alternative pop, Matt, for sure. Now, I feel like, you know, with the theme here aesthetically, this is just one of those kind of like heretic kind of effects where like you have this very simple, very minimalistic kind of cover, but it does so well. Like you see this cover, you're gonna think of Matt. You're totally gonna think of Matt. And man, mm. So simple yet effective. Yo, let's get it, Buckcat. Big shouts. Big shouts for the creds. Um, let's talk about the lyrical undertone here. Now, like I said, the writing is great. Definitely a different kind of attitude coming from Matt here on this. Um, and rightfully so. With a track titled Fashion Bloodcat Remix, you really, really gotta fucking like, man, like you can like it's just kind of mind blowing because Matt is such a good writer, and when it comes to themes like this and like um a track titled Fashion, I feel like this is one of those like you can picture it so well. Um and huge shout out to Bloodcat because this is personified with this remix here, because like it's just like you can just feel what kind of like attitude and like emotions that like Matt's giving off when it comes to like pop vibes, right? Because like there is a little bit of emotion and like really get up and go and move kind of vibes. And man, like this is one of those songs you could just fucking drive for hours, bro, and you just be dipping. You just be dipping. You could skate for hours. You could go to the fucking gym. You'd be moving like a motherfucker, bro. Just have your headphones in, nobody even know, bro. And you got this in your ear. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? But writing wise, Matt's got a range of topics here. But all in all, definitely dives into, I guess, more so, I wouldn't say emotional aspects, but more so like really a few life aspects when it comes to um really having different lifestyles than, you know, regular day-to-day people have. And fashion is just one of those tracks that you can like you'll be taken to like a different like just a whole different place, and you're just like Matt does a really good job here writing, um because you're perfectly envisioning what's going on in the song, and that's how I know it's some on point writing. um so this is good, man. This is good. This is good. So yeah, honestly, all in all, instrumental, excellent. Vocals, excellent. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on, but no, man. This is a really good, like, summer Matt track, and it's just so happens that it's a Bloodcat remix. So, like, man, what the fuck? And if you were watching the show last week, We had an excellent remix from Bloodcat again, along with the original on episode 73. So make sure you go check that out, man. Bloodcat has been putting in work and refining, remixing, and really doing like all sorts of like interesting things with different tracks, featured tracks, their own tracks. There's a lot going on in the Bloodcat universe, and I am here for it. So, with that said, huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you for submission, homie. Much fucking love. Cannot wait to see what you have in store, my friend. Make sure you follow Bloodcat on SoundCloud. He is approaching 1.2. Go show him some love. And of course, per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. We'll show us some love, man. We're approaching 60 subscribers. If you've already subbed, thank you. And if you haven't, make sure you do so. It helps us grow. It helps show love to some of these artists. And we've been snapping on the YouTube game recently, so huge shout out to you guys, man. Holy baloney, the Bloodcat remixes have been strong. Fucking strong. Fucking strong. Double subs? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, Mark. We're gonna get the hundo. But, little by little, you know what I'm saying? Little by little. Let's go, man. So, let's see here. So, Absono good, Heretic good, Teflon good, Mark, we're wrapping back around. That's gonna be exciting. Bloodcat good. Offspring, we're wrapping back around too. And up next, actually, before we get to our next submission, let me fucking drink some water before I die of dehydration. And now that I've had the AC on, it's getting cold in here. What's good, chat? How's your Monday? How's everybody doing? What's poppin'? What's crack-a-lackin'? Stay hydrated, folks. Chilling, but this tattoo sort of fucks. Dude, yo. Holy shit. Yeah, you just reminded me. One of the homies got tatted on his knee. And I'll send you the picture, but it's fucking insane. Everybody got tatted recently. Currently making a shirt for my girlfriend. Let's fucking go, Kale. That's a W. That's a W, Kale. Sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? What kind of tea you got, Cole? What's up? Sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bro, I saw someone black in TikTok and I almost cried. That would hurt so bad. That would hurt so bad. Okay, back on track here. Up next, we got the homie Matt Rocks, which we actually just heard of. But this week, Matt has something a little different for us. And they submitted a track produced by Matt, but it's Matt's cousin. This'll be interesting. Black tea, let's get it, Cole. Black tea is gas. I'm really interested in this. So Matt Rock's cousin Seja Palace prod Matt Rocks 8 days ago. So this is brand new. Cover gives me very like old, but like not Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got you, man. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. This cover is giving me like early 2010s like vibes, but like not really. It's got this like conflicting feeling to it. I feel like we'll know more once we get into this. So let's check this out, man.
Mental issues, drugs be fucking up my brain. Mental issues, drugs be fucking up my brain. I pop a perk, I smoke my weed, I do my thing. If I rob that nigga, let him know my name. Coke up in my nose, it's straight up in my brain. I'm a self-made nigga, fuck a hoe, I want that change. I wanna blow my brain, I never felt okay. I wonder why these niggas imitate. Mama crying, wonder why I wanna take my life away. I've never been okay, always been insane. Always been that nigga with a dream that I'm gon' claim. Reaching for the stars, ain't no nigga that got my game. Boy, your heights I used to stay, and I ain't never banged, never joined the gang, smoking on propane. Everywhere I go, I make it dank. Everywhere I go, I make it dank. Everywhere I go, I'm making bank. Welcome to my palace where there's roaches everywhere, like I forgot to clean my place. Always been the same, third grade, sucking niggas in their face, and I ain't taking shit from nobody, fuck out my face. Tell me what it is, then the nigga might catch a fade. You do it for the club, give a fuck if they know my name. I'm too loyal, still a villain, call me Bane. Nose bleeding, cocaine. Eyes bleeding, I'm too faded, I can't think. Raise it to my wrist to make me faint. The voices in my head, they make a nigga go insane. The bitches wanna talk to me, little hoe, I want that brain. I'm trying to make a change, find my happy place. But them fucking drugs be in the way. Perky, it be messing up my brain. Messing with a way a nigga think. I can't think. Mental issues, drugs be fucking up my brain. Mental issues, drugs be fucking up my brain. I pop a perk, I smoke my weed, I do my thing. If I rob that nigga, let him know my name. Coke up in my nose, it's straight up in my brain. I'm a self-made nigga, fuck a hoe, I want that change. I wanna blow my brain, I never felt okay. I wonder why these niggas imitate. Mama crying, wonder why I wanna take my life away. I've never been okay, always been insane. Always been that nigga with a dream that I'm gon' claim. Reaching for the stars, ain't no nigga that got my game. Boy, your heights I used to stay, and I ain't never banged.
That was dope. That was really dope. I didn't know what to expect. I'm definitely curious if this was like the first track that they've ever made, or was this just like the first like official release? Regardless, this is good. This is really, really fucking good. But yeah, the compact disc one go crazy. I agree. I agree. That's what kind of made it feel like early 2010s. And I was like, but there's still like this modern feel to it. But this is interesting, man. This is interesting. There was a lot to dive into here lyrically. I think this is really well written. 50 Chines go hard as fuck. He just started rapping 2 months ago. Huh. 2 months ago. We had an EPO working. Okay, working on the mixes. Okay. Okay. Damn. Alright, bet. I like this. 2 months. Another freestyle in the family. This is like one of those like really, I'll get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Palace. So, Man, right off rip, this instrumental is like perfect for like someone to like really mold themselves around. Like there are beats that like mold you and then there are beats that you mold. This is definitely one of those flexible kind of beats for like an artist like first starting out but they like want to make some like really hard shit. This hits like every checkbox for me. This was perfect. Like if I was going to slide somebody an instrumental or like show them what's good, this is like a perfect example. Um but right off rip, the mix is great. But you know, like I said, to no surprise, Matt's vocals and mixes always are very tight, very clean. Nothing to gripe about there whatsoever. Um, but I think one of the shining stars here for me, like Cole said, has got to be the chimes and the sound selection overall when it comes to the drums and the mells. Sound selection's great in terms of like giving it that like darker kind of tone because there are some kind of like darker subjects here lyrically, but it kind of is like you could tell it's a very Matt kind of instrumental. Like there's always just this kind of like um signature kind of Matt instrumental that you're like, oh, okay, okay. So yeah, see, exactly, Matt, exactly, exactly. But yeah, man, shining star here's gotta be the chimes. They're great. And like I said, the overall sound selection is really good because simplicity is key here. Um, but all in all, I feel like Matt is like a really seasoned producer when it comes to like finding sounds that go really well together. And this is just another track that proves that. So instrumental, extremely solid. But more so on the instrumental, I like the fact that Matt is putting on for his cousin, right? Like there are people that'll like be afraid to do that or like be afraid to like try to put on for their homies or their family or like somebody they're like, yo, like I fuck with your music, like, and you know, it doesn't even matter whose idea it is, you know, whether it's, you know, this one or that one. What really like is like inspiring is the fact that you're willing to like put on like for your cousin and be like, all right, yeah, I got you for an instrumental. I'll upload it on my SoundCloud. I'll mix you up and all that shit. Like that's really tippable. Like I think that's one of my favorite things about this is the fact that Matt is really out here like helping not only like an artist but family like get put on and like really get shown the ropes and really get shown what's good and be like, okay, this is how you move here. This is how you want to do this. All right, yeah, we'll get you that. Yada, 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 rah, rah, rah. Whatever the case is. So the fact that Matt is out here doing this for their cousin is like, is so tippable, dude. It's so fucking tippable. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's very tippable. That's just extremely respectable. And this is a 10 out of 10 just for that. But the one thing that you will notice is that there's no like loss in quality. There's no like lacking in an instrumental that's like a typical Matt instrumental. Like you get everything here. But it's just Matt's cousin. It's like that's like really tippable. Like 2 months uploaded on Matt's SoundCloud. Like that's love, man. That's fucking love for real. That's love. So super respectable. Um, and like I said, instrumental was excellent for somebody who wanted to really just release like a beginner kind of track. Um, perfect. Really, like I said, hit all the check boxes for me. Now, let's talk about vocals here. Now, like I said, 2 months, you know, you can't really like you can't really critique much, you know what I mean? It's really more of a reaction at this point, and I'm very impressed for somebody that has only been really trying this shit and like really like trying to understand this shit for 2 months, bro. This is like, man, like some people just pick up on shit quicker. Some people it takes some practice. Anybody can do anything, and this is another testament to that. If you like really genuinely enjoy something, like what the fuck? Like people do a better job at like things that they do when they really enjoy it. Like seriously. They do. And like you can tell that they really enjoy it when it comes to vocals. Music runs in my family. Like we were raised by music. Let's fucking go. What the fuck? And crazy what a little practice can do. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Mark, you know exactly what I'm saying, you know? Because some people it takes a minute to pick up on. Some people, they just pick right up on it. But one thing that's common in between those two people, whether you take 2 months or 2 years, is that if you're passionate about it, you can do shit like this. And again, the fact that Matt's just, you know, really taking him under the wing is sick as fuck. And not even on some little bro shit or anything like that, but like, it's so respectable when you're coming from like somebody like Matt, you know what I mean, as talented and, you know, as busy, and that's it's just like it's so tippable, bro. So tippable. Got a screamo trap song. Wait, variety. Wait, yo, I gotta hear that. I'm with Kale. I'm definitely got yo, Matt. I'm trying to hear that, whether that's out or not. We'll talk after this, but let's get back on track. Vocals are excellent. Like I said, 2 months. You can't really critique too much, right? Like 2 months, like they're just getting started. So, with that said, this is amazing for 2 months. And huge shout out to Matt for really helping somebody mold themselves into an artist. Like this is impressive for 2 months worth of work. But one thing that I love here is obviously not the writing itself, but the lyrics. The lyrics are hard hitting and like very like different than sort of Matt's typical sound as well. But all in all, like I feel like the vocals have like so much like promise and future. Like especially when you hear Matt say that, you know, he has a screamo trap song. What the fuck? That's exciting as shit because what we got here was a lot of like hard hitting bars, lots of like aggressive kind of attitudes, and like a real lot of like skill. And not that, you know, other shit doesn't take skill or anything like that. It's just like 2 months. You know what I mean? Like keep that in mind when I'm talking about this because 2 months is impressive. So, um, but you know, like Matt said, been surrounded by music your whole life, and then you're like, okay, like I get it. Like I'm finna go do this, and then 2 months later, you come out with some shit like this, and you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, man, yeah, this is great. Lyrics are awesome, 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 awesome. Truly hitting a couple different spectrums as well. A little bit more emotional like Matt, but definitely more abrasive and in your face. Um, and I like both styles that are going on in Palace. Like I love both styles. Um, because you have like sort of in the beginning half the more like attitude filled lyrics, and then like towards the later half you have more so like not like emotional boohoo, but like more like just real emotions, like real emotions that um were spoken, truly spoken. And I fuck with this a lot. Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the theme here. Now, aesthetically, huge fan of the cover. Huge fan of the cover. Um, the filter's great. The compact disc is like, it's some like classic shit you don't see too often anymore, and it's not overdone like, you know, some like crazy vaporwave kind of stuff. It's not too overdone at all. This is excellent, but it definitely like, I love the black and white because, you know, I feel like that's what this song is very black and white. You have a very like new artist coming on the scene and really laying it all on a track in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Wiz Khalifa video vibes on the cover. Yeah. Yeah, like except almost a bit darker, right? Like almost a bit darker, and not like scary dark, ooh, but like just a bit darker undertone. And I love that for the aesthetics. Lyrically, um, like I said, holy shit. Um, like the beginning half, like I said, has just got this real awesome, like in your face kind of style. You're bopping, you're like, okay, this hard as fuck. Like this motherfucker's spitting, and then you go to the latter half of the song, and you have the more emotion filled kind of lyrics and bars that are like, oh damn, okay, like this is a very like all in one spectrum for a first song. And like, man, like you could get a lot out of this. There's a lot of content here. There's a lot of content here. And for somebody that like obviously Matt and if you don't write and you're just punching in and out, like this is awesome. Like this is fucking great. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people gotta like, you know, write certain things down. Like everybody does once in a while, but for the most part, if you're a very like punch in, punch out kind of person, like fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it, because this is like one of those like great first songs. This is one of those like, okay, like I'm gonna put this track out. I'm gonna put it out. You should definitely put this out. Let's really put on for this. And you get so many spectrums of an artist that, let's say, you never heard or is putting out their first song like we have here. Um, this is awesome. This is awesome, and I'm definitely impressed. I'm definitely excited for more, and I'm definitely trying to hear that heavier shit. Definitely trying to hear that heavier shit because this was hard. This was hard. Real raw rap skills right here. So I'm excited for the future. Matt, thank you for the submission. Much, much fucking love. Thank you for putting us on, my friend. And of course, I'm sure Matt will keep us updated on everything going on. This is excellent. This is truly, truly excellent. I'm very impressed. Huge shout out, Matt. That's love what Matt's doing, man. That's real love. That's something that like I said, you don't see a lot of people do, and the people that do get it and receive it sometimes don't do anything with it. So like, never stop showing love, man, especially the people you care about. And if you want to see people and like, like chase their dreams and like do the things that they want to do and really like become passionate about art, do the things that Matt is doing, bro. Seriously. That's sick, bro. Like that's love. That's fucking love, bro. Like going out of your way to do some shit like that. Probably one of my favorite moments on Music Mondays in a while. Not too long ago, I think Mark submitted a track from one of his homies. His homie was talking about the person who prod the song like the whole fucking time, and that was love too. Like shit like that is like you can't like fake shit like that. And I think this is sick. I think this is really fucking sick, and I think Matt has a very promising future. I think CJ has a very promising future, and yeah, man, this is something else. Cousin, roommate, and his yeah. See, this is what I mean. Everybody's putting on their cousins, everybody's putting on their roommates, and this and that, bro. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm fucking saying, man. Impressive, impressive. That was awesome. So Okay, so we are back and better than ever. Um, let's get right into it. So, where were we? We are still going through our audio submissions. We did have Sono, Heretic, Teflon, Mark. We're gonna wrap back around to. Bloodcat. Yep. Offspring. We're gonna wrap back around to. Matt. Check. Why have Bull got me sideways? It'd be like that sometimes, bro. It'd be like that. I feel you. I feel you, my friend. So, up next, we got the homie, Cole Gerard. And this will be interesting. Cole has one of my all-time favorite flows and cadences and really genre blending techniques on Music Mondays, bar none. Cole is a very, very genuine artist with a great, great ethic. Their caption reads, one from the two for dropping Friday, June 24th, this Friday, with King Mark. Static, all platforms. And they submitted a track titled Snakes. So this will be interesting. We get a little Cole, little King Mark in here. Okay, little Cole, King Mark. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Let's check this out. So right off rip, this cover is fucking insane. Font's great. The parental advisory is probably the best parental advisory I've seen in a minute. Like, holy shit. But I like how the static is like deep fried and it's not like just static. Lots to go on there. Lots to go on there. So, Music Mondays exclusive unreleased track Snakes dropping this Friday. Cole Gerard, King Mark.
Wow. Yeah. Hey. Missouri shit, yeah, I'm used to these snakes, yeah, I'm used to these hoes going back on what they say. If I bet you were a bitch, nigga, I'd be at the bank. When I slow up on my drugs, man, I'm still getting paid. Talking mad, get that shit out your fucking mouth. So much love for the hearts in my bank account. Already dissing on my shit before I put it out. Pick it up and dox me, they do it real nicely. Seen that shit, I heard that shit before. Seen that shit, I heard that shit before. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Why they acting fast, bitch, get out my lane. Going through the show and I ain't talking sound, talking mud bangs. Niggas snakes, yeah, I'm used to them. Will you be my friend? Watch them play pretend. Y'all gon' gaga for these niggas facing fake bands in the street, fake trans. No love for me, I don't give a fuck, man. Said I'm used to them. Why I said she used to this. Said I've been running around doing stupid shit. I might do a couple schemes up in a stupid ways. Shawty wanna do the dashes, cars go stupid ways. Got me iced out, Cuban rolling bust down. She gon' hit the splits when I tell her bust down. Ain't no Tatiana, but I tell her pipe down. I don't want the drama, what they wanna talk about. I don't wanna talk about no fake shit. All the homies stay in the grass, things on some snake shit. You can call me Ash the way that I just gotta catch them. I be on the ass, they ducking, cause I pop quick.
Holy shit. Snakes, I might cut the grass down. Fake, try to play me like a clown. I don't wanna break shit, I might need to vacate. I don't wanna lose my shit, but I think it's too late. I might pop off if they wanna talk shit. With a Glock soft like we pull a Peter Clip. I don't know what you call the cops, why you make the block hard. Shawty all up on my cop, thinking that I need a man. What the fuck? Yo. That was fucking insane. This is easily what? What? This is definitely the best Mark and Cole collab in any form we've gone. What? What? Okay. This is good. This is good. Let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Snakes. So, right off rip, I love the futuristic choice of instrumental. Really hard hitting bass, but not too overbearing. Mel definitely puts you in like 3022. Man, this is definitely a heater instrumental. I love the choice, whether it was Cole or Mark or both, that were feeling this. I fuck with this choice a lot. Um, Once again, melody is definitely a great foundation and the shining star here for me. Um, Goes perfect with the static theme. Definitely sounds like static, not literally, but if static were to have a sound and a type beat, this would be it. Um, yeah, shining star here is the mel, without a doubt. But I love the 808. The 808's great. The 808 definitely brings almost another element, like we saw in a couple of tracks tonight, as to where it was almost like a third feature, right? Like I said in Heretics track, where the 808's just coming in and it's like it's just fucking knocking. And man, Jesus. So instrumental choice, solid. Um, I would let's talk about vocals. Let's talk about vocals. So Cole here really does Cole things on this beat. Cole, I feel like could eat like Cole is like, all right, I'm gonna just fucking destroy the shit out of this. Like, I bet you Cole heard this and was like, I'm gonna just fucking eat this alive, and he did, 100%, 100%. Um, Lots of really good punchlines here. The writing was great. Um, the flows and cadences didn't really do Cole's usual acrobats. Cole definitely stuck to a steady flow here. Um, Made some switches and really made this beat their own, truly. Um, Cole was definitely driving this ship without a doubt. Um, but I feel like the really um shining star here for me on Cole's end of things is definitely has got to be um the vocals. Like, without a doubt, like this recording is like it's so crisp, and like not just mix wise, like the way things are like pronounced, and there are so many like little details here in this recording where it's like, okay, like Cole definitely like leveled up somewhere in between now and the last track that we heard. I believe it was the Dread collab. I think it was the Dread collab. Or one of those songs, but Cole has definitely leveled up within the last week or two. So this is impressive. This is impressive. I've been liking a lot of the things that Cole has been doing to tracks lately, and Cole definitely never shies away from any instrumental. I feel like Cole definitely knows how to make any instrumental their own. I'm sure there's instrumentals where Cole's like, all right, fuck that. But for the most part, Snakes is proof that Cole can really like make an instrumental work for Cole, and I like that a lot. But like I said, Shining Star here, definitely the recording, crisp, clean, um, lots of personality. It's just a great track. Now, when we're talking about the Mark side of things here, this is what's awesome because Mark comes in and not only is he mixed really well and crisp, but on top of it, Mark brings this different um vocal kind of um like vocal sound here, like as to where like it complements what Cole did, like 100%. Um, just because Mark really, took his mix and really ran with it. It was such a like a different style from Cole, but I feel like Mark really was like, all right, I'm gonna write this hard as fuck. And I like how Mark blended like like the more electronical kind of mix with like more harder lyrics and like more like attitude filled lyrics. Like this was like old lo-fi Mark combined with like new current Mark, and you get this is what you get. So I fuck with this. I fuck with this a lot. Um, all in all, Mark definitely checked off the feature checklist for me. What you need to check off, especially in terms of what Cole laid out for the track, right? Because Cole absolutely snapped on this, fucking ate this alive, and then left some room for Mark. And then Mark came in and cleaned this the fuck up, and to the point where it complimented Cole, but like Mark was able to like really have like a noticeable new spin on his style when it comes to vocals. Truly, because it, it was like the mix combined with the lyrics really gave you like this new edge of Mark. Like I feel like these two really leveled up for this EP. Truly. I feel like these two leveled up for this EP, like without a doubt. So vocals really fucking solid. Like I said, definitely the best collab we've seen here on Music Mondays in any form from King Mark and Cole, without a doubt. The second track on this project, Go Insane. Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, I'm really excited to hear the second track on Statics because, bro, Snakes, what the fuck? So instrumental choice is great. Compliments both of you. Vocals are excellent. Some of the best vocal work I've heard from either of you. It sounds like you both leveled up immensely. Let's talk about the theme here. Now, aesthetically, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Deep fried static. One of the most HD parental advisory covers I've ever fucking seen. And the text on Cole Mark brings like a classy feel to like a very grimy cover. And really makes for like a good like underground original feel. Like dead ass. It really does. So aesthetics on point, especially for something called static. Um Now, let's talk about the underlying theme of Snakes here, because I feel like Cole and Mark were able to touch on a track called Snakes, right? Because, fuck snakes. And, there's so many bars and punchlines and lyrics and, just lines you could come up with when it comes to, snakes in the grass, fake friends, like, move in a certain way. And I feel like both Cole and Mark were able to spin this in a way where Cole was a little bit more raw and like upfront and like I'm gonna spit this to you whether you like it or not. And Mark was able to bring the electronic digital world side of things and was like, okay, like it like Mark brought the Mark to the track. And that's what I like about this because Cole laid such a good foundation. And that's why I feel like these two leveled up a lot because the uh symmetry and like how in sync Cole and Mark are on this track, or like at least in collaboration of this track, um, is some of the best we've seen from these two, without a doubt. They work together, you get a track like this. This is Chef's Kiss. So, with that said, huge shout out to Cole Gerard. Thank you for submission, homie. Much fucking love. Make sure you follow Cole on SoundCloud. Cole is approaching 30 followers. He is 7 away. Go show him some love, man. And of course, make sure you follow Cole on Twitter at Cole Gerard. Cole is approaching the big 2-0 on Twitter. Go show him some love. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already. And huge shout out to everybody who is already subscribed. We're hitting the big 60 subscribers soon. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We upload 2 times a week, full podcast episodes, Music Monday segments, exclusives, whole bunch of new stuff coming. Support us. Support these artists. And thank you. So let's get it, man. That was fucking crazy. That fucking pumped me up. That was fuck, dude. That was yes. All right. I'm turnt now. I'm fucking turnt. That was good. That was impressive. Definitely felt like you two like leveled the fuck up right there. Okay. Absono check. Heretic check. Teflon check. Mark wrapping back around to. Bloodcat check. Offspring wrapping back. Matt check. Cole check. Up next, we got the homie, No Name Dread. And Dread has been dropping nothing but insane tracks under Music Mondays. Like insane fucking tracks. Whether it be the Cole collab, all those things. I'm not sure if Dread dropped a new project. I can't feel my face part 2. Yep. So that track with Cole's on there. Faith, okay. Mary Kate. Oh, Mary Kate. We heard Mary Kate. Yo, Mary Kate was tough. Mary Kate was, yeah, okay. Let's get it, Dread. Let's get it. Okay. Let's fucking go, man. Wow. Let's go. Okay. Bet. So you guys already know how I feel about Dread's art, but this fucking cover goes beyond expectations. Like I said, the color palette, bro. The color palette. The blacks, the whites, the blues. Man. Mm-mm-mm. Such a great color palette. Simple, but effective, and Dread always has the best filters, too. But we'll talk about that in a second. No Name Dread. Faith. Fratellis.
Okay, wait, can you relate? Faith ain't making fade. Hot when I skate. Try to copy trace. I can't feel my face. Lived up to outer space. Ain't been in heaven's grace. Been here a while. Just tryna make me smile. Try to copy my style. Oh, you hate me, yeah, that's wild. I might let you know. Trouble in my brain, I feel the same. I can't get out the boat. Damn, I feel surrounded. Look around me, there's a fucking moat. Calling me the devil, not that level, still a fucking go. Follow. Feel hollow. Trying to see tomorrow. I been living on tennis ball. Take me from this song. Hope you got a swallow. You look like a bro. Lift up your ass pronto. Why do you all hate me? Why do you all hate me?
Wow. That was a fucking trip, man. That was a fucking trip. Dread has been super leveling up with the shit he's been putting out too, man. Damn. Okay, let's get into it. You guys know the drill. Talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals and talk about the overall theme of Faith. So, right off rip, Solace, definitely nailed it with like sort of having a Dread kind of sound. Dread truly comes through with like his own production and such like a unique sound. And man, this is right up Dread's like sort of sound alley, if you will. You could tell why Dread chose this for sure. But right off rip, the mix is great. The mix is fucking excellent. I feel like Dread has like such a unique style, and like not a lot of producers can really. It's not that they can't create Dread beats, it's just that like not a lot do because Dread has such a unique sound. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. But the mix is great. The mel is very Dread. I'd say the shining star for the instrumental is definitely the melody for sure. Drum selection is great. Sound selection overall is good. Everything's really copacetic, instrumental wise for sure. But definitely a very Dread choice when it comes to instrumentals, without a doubt. Vocals. Now, this mix is a very Dread staple mix, right? Dread has a very specific mix and a very personal mix when it comes to what Dread likes to do on tracks, and he does well with it. Especially when it comes to, you know, having pitched vocals and really like making them some of the most crisp vocals that you can get in this sort of lane. And nobody is really doing it the way that Dread is doing it. So vocals right off the rip are great. Nothing's clashing with the beat or anything like that. Nothing too loud or overbearing. Everything's excellent. Now, the flows and the cadences here are for sure the shining star when it comes to vocals, man. Wow. Wow. There are some flows in here and like combined with the lyrics that you're like, damn. Dread is really putting like a new spin on some of this shit. Like especially towards the later half of this track, Dread is really doing some different shit with ad libs and like hitting higher notes and really just doing different types of vocals. In terms of recording is awesome. Like I love the experimentation here, and it's not really like experimenting. It's more so just like different than like you know the older Dread tracks. So that's why I say leveling up. You know what I mean? Because this project was just released, and we haven't heard Faith yet. So definitely impressive. Definitely impressive to be able to have such a great consistent style when it comes to vocals, yet be able to like push new limits and like try new things with said vocals and mix. So awesome. Writing was good here. Very emotional Dread writing combined with some like very abrasive writing for sure. But I've always been a fan of Dread's writing. Dread is always very like poetic yet sort of like in your face kind of writer. And this track is no different. So let's talk about the theme here. Now, this cover, I already said, goes fucking crazy. Like, goes absolutely fucking crazy. This has got to be like one of my favorite palettes just because of the blue. The blue is one of my favorite parts, but Dread style overall when it comes to art and covers and all art forms are just so original and so unique, man. It gives you this like grimy yet like old style feeling combined with like a modern version of it all. And then you just slap a parental advisory on it for that like real like aesthetic justice. Man, holy shit. So excellent cover. Always been a fan of it since I first saw it. The underlying theme here, lyrically. Now, Dread touches on a couple different subjects here. You know, there's some more emotion filled ones, there's some more like I don't give a fuck lines. And that's really, you know, you can find several Dread tracks where he's blending topics, and this is one where I feel like they're all topics about keeping your faith. That's the thing, right? And it's like about like relating to like keeping your faith, and you know whether you relate to said line or said topic or not. A track like this is one where you're like you like get it regardless of whether you relate to it or not. So this is a good one. This is a good one. Wow. This is an experience for a minute 41. Let's fucking go. Just another testament to like if you're gonna do short songs, you're gonna do like shorter length, like kind of tracks. Fill that bitch up. Go crazy. Do a little variety if you don't want to record a lot. You know what I mean? Do ad libs. Do fucking samples. Do extras. Do background vocals. Do harmonies. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like go crazy with the shit if you're gonna make a short track. So Dread does excellent. Huge shout out to No Name Dread. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much fucking love. Make sure you follow No Name Dread on SoundCloud. He's approaching 210. He is one away from 210. Go show him some love, man, for real. And of course, go check out Dread's new EP. I Can't Feel My Face, Part 2. Dropped 20 hours ago. Go show it some love, man. Brand new. Lots of bangers on there. We reviewed them and reacted to them here first on Music Mondays. I'm co-signing that. Go show it some love. And of course, make sure you follow No Name Dread on Twitter. No Name Dread 1. Dread is approaching the big hundo. He's 9 away. 9 away. And of course, make sure you follow every artist featured in today's episode and every episode. And they'll be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already. And huge shout out to everybody who has already subscribed. You guys are amazing. So, up next, we got the homie Kale. And much like a lot of the producers in the Music Mondays community, Kale really embodies what it means to be a producer. Treats himself like an artist, has one of the most like original yet like caring ways to go about music. It's really excellent. Kale has built an awesome platform for themselves, and Kale has worked with so many talented underground creatives, and this week they submitted a track by an artist, Michael OS, and it's titled Distress. Rod Kale. Some really rare stuff with a friend of mine. Really rare stuff, he says. Okay, really rare stuff. How rare are we talking? 3 years ago, the cover is fucking... If we were to have a competition, or a voting, or if you were like, Zom, what are your favorite covers from tracks you reviewed on Music Mondays? This is insane. I'll tell you that. This is insane. Pretty dang rare, I'll tell you. Let's get it, Kale. Let's get it. Okay. Cover made by him as well. Snapped. Absolutely fucking snapped on this cover. Takes the cake. For one of my favorites. 3 years ago, Rod Kale, Michael OS, Distress. Let's check this out.
Gotta give it up, it's over. You're saying holding on to nothing. Don't wanna waste your breath for no one. Pour another drink, you're okay. Well, I can barely walk, so no more. It doesn't work for me, and lately I try and press reset, it don't work. Guess I'll sort this out and run it. It's all in my head, I know that's for sure. Need to clear my brain, I need liberation. I don't wanna go there again.
I can give two shits, I cannot believe this. It's a bunch of bullshit, show me in the beginning. I can't even say it, shouldn't even be here, just need a different setting.
Motivation, tell myself I'm okay. Gets in my head, I feel fucking bipolar. Acting like I'm fine when I get myself in order. Makes it so hard for me to love, cause I'm loaded. But I'll try not to fall for the hating. And I'll try not to be so fixated on shit that doesn't even fucking matter. Now I do what I can for my comfort.
The fucking end in the outro, man. Wow. What the fuck? That's just not cloud on there. Yeah, it's so it looks like definitely hasn't uploaded anything since then either, which is kind of interesting, like, because this is like so I like love this. Like I like love this. Banger. Yeah, like for sure. For sure, banger. Okay. Let's break this down. So we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Distress. Man, right off rip, this fucking instrumental is what I love about production. You'll hear me say it like over and over again, man. I love instrumentals like this. Kale did such a good job when it comes to alternative style instrumentals, man. Nice loud drums, like the sample is fucking perfect. There's not too much going on, and it left so much for Michael to use, man. Truly, 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 truly. What an instrumental we have here, especially for 3 years ago, too. 3 years ago, this is excellent. This is excellent. So Kale has done nothing but level up, especially like since Kale put out his last project. Wow, wow. But love this instrumental. Mix solid. I'd say Shining Star is the instrumental itself, man. You know, maybe biased, maybe not biased. All in all, I'm a huge fan of alternative instrumentals, and this is well done. Well fucking done. Just one of the ones that you're like me, like, you know, I'm not a vocalist, right? And like the only way for me to convey emotion is through, like, you know, my music and samples, and things like that. And if I were to put out an instrumental, it would totally be something like this. Well, I mean, you know what the fuck I'm saying. Like, if I were to make an instrumental right now, it would probably be something like this. Just shit that, you know, I relate to the most. And I think Kale does an excellent job with not only this kind of sound, but a lot of sounds. Hitting him with the wink. Let's get it. But a lot of sounds, truly. And this one is on lock for Kale, man. Every alternative kind of instrumental I've heard from Kale has been literally top tier. Now he's a vocalist for a band now type shit. Oh, so he said, fuck the solo shit. I'm gonna go rock out. I respect that. I respect that. At least he's still grinding because he's a great vocalist. But yeah, man, this instrumental is great. Hale, like I said, really knows how to like make multiple genres. Like we've heard like so many different Kale type of beats, and like Kale always has this like really good spin on them too. Different drum patterns, different drum selections. It's always like these smaller things that make them Kale's, and I love that about Kale's instrumentals. Like they're very personal to Kale, and that's good. But all in all, a mix is great. The structure's awesome on this, and it's a very like hard hitting, emotional kind of instrumental, and I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. So let's talk about vocals. Cause like Kale mentioned, he's a vocalist for a band now. So like that's one thing I noticed was the vocals. Like shit like this, if you build on this, this is like you can get some of the craziest vocal work from this. Like truly you can get crazy vocal work from this. It's just it's so like raw, and like you can like feel the emotion in it. It's not like too mixed, it's not too overbearing or anything like that. And Kale really laid a good foundation with an instrumental like this. So mix when it comes to vocals is awesome. Awesome. And I love the fact that you can like really, you know, the emotion and the rawness isn't taken out of it. I love that about this for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the writing here, because there is a couple of kind of directions that Michael is going here in terms of writing. You know, more personal to himself writing, more like overall like you know, broader statements, and really just made this track very personal to them, whether it be them speaking on different things or them speaking on themselves. I feel like Michael really like really expressed himself here. And you can really tell, because like this is one of those instrumentals that you can like let somebody express himself on, and Michael definitely took that chance. So huge shining star for me is a mix. Writing is excellent. I feel like Michael touched on a few different things, like I said. And if you're gonna make like a short consumable track like this and really like kill it, I think one thing that you need is structure. And man, vocal structure here, top tier. Top fucking tier, for sure. Especially towards the end. The later half of the song really like doubles down on that like emotional kind of factor, and really like letting Michael sort of like get the rest of it out, you know what I mean? Because sometimes these tracks start off kind of as a slow build up, and then by the end, like it's all like the rawness is all just all over the table. And that's what we have here, and I think Michael did an excellent job at expressing here, for sure. So, let's talk about the theme. Now, aesthetically, like I said, if there was best Music Mondays covers of all time, this would be in the top 10 for sure. Love this cover. I love the like 90s kind of like faded motel kind of style, and it's like perfect for these kind of like acoustic like kind of, you know, like a more emotional side of instrumentals. So I feel like the sounds here from Kale really embody this cover. So I feel like these two, because Michael made the cover and Kale made the instrumental, so I feel like they mix these two extremely well. Michael OS Distress Prod Kale, like, come on, man. Come on. That is too fucking tough. Because, like, the graphics on it aren't like, boom, here's our graphics. It's just, like, slight, but what's there is so detailed and such a nice touch to a very, like, vintage yet emotional photo. I fuck with this cover, like, a lot. A lot. And Kale does what he wants, chat. So if Kale's gonna make a fucking emotional acoustic track, Kale's gonna fucking do that. If Kale's gonna make a Chief Keef cover, Kale's gonna do that. If bro, another thing is how many like Kale has worked with so many different types of artists from all over the globe, artists from like, bro, Kale has such a good library and resume. Like, Kale just comes out with like, yeah, here's some rare ass shit, and you get this. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Huge shout out, Kale, man. That is awesome. What a library. What a fucking library. So, aesthetically, awesome theme. Lyrically, Distress, man, I think the line here says it. Make it so hard. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, this literally says it all. Says it all. But, like I said, Michael is able to convey some real emotion, whether it comes from his personal experiences or a more broader line of subjects where, a lot of people could relate to it, but Michael, is just getting some things off his chest rather than trying to, get people to relate. And if people relate, that's cool. But man, such a great mix of like, I'm going through this, so fuck you, and the other side of it's like, it's like life, and like I'm gonna deal with it kind of shit. And like that's like such a dope dynamic because one's like positive and then one's like not that positive. So it's like such a good blend of like raw emotion, and right off rip, that's what I loved about this track, man. Really, really loved about this track. Um Definitely would like to hear more of acoustic Kale and any artist that Kale has worked with, because Kale does an excellent job at not only instrumentals and like what Kale has refined as the Kale sound, but acoustic ones, alternative style, everything that Kale does when it comes to this style is so good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm impressed by the consistent amount of like throwback like records in Kale's library from like unknown talented artists. Kale actually has a crazy, crazy eye for artists. Crazy eye, for sure. So, with that said, huge shout out to Kale. Thank you for submission, homie. Much, much fucking love. Make sure you show Kale some love, per usual. Kale is on the way to 450 on SoundCloud. 2 away. Go show him some love. Lots of instrumentals, lots of Kale hosted tracks, lots of Kale produced tracks as well. Everything's going on at Kale SoundCloud. Go show him some love. And of course, make sure you follow Kale on Twitter at DatBoyKale. Kale is approaching. Oh, Kale's on 650 right now. So Kale's on the way to 700, man. Go show him some love. Go show him some love for sure. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already. Much love to everybody who has. We're on the way to 60 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week. Music Monday segments, full episodes, exclusive hosted tracks. We're putting in a lot of work on the Music Mondays channel, so huge shout out to you guys, man. The related tracks is dude, I agree. I looked at the related and I was like, what the fuck? But let's see here. Up next we have a first time submitting artist, Lonnie Claire. And Lonnie does not follow Music Mondays, unfortunately. So as you guys know, that's one of the only precursors that we have here on Music Mondays, is that you follow the Music Mondays Twitter page. And it's to not only grow the platform, but to pay respect to a lot of the people that have been supporting the platform, show priority to the people that wait every week to get their submissions played and reviewed. So, anybody who isn't following the page, always feel free to drop us a follow and then resubmit. Never an issue. Never an issue. But we do have artists that wait all week, and we would always show respect to them. So if you're not following the page, that's the only way we won't go over your submission. So, shout out to Lonnie. Thank you for the submission. Jerry Down Jr. is following 0 people, including Not Music Mondays. So, like I just said, you guys know the drill. If you ever want to refollow Music Mondays and drop a track, feel free. But like I said, there are people that always follow Music Mondays, always submit, look forward to their submissions, and it really helps grow the platform and spread the word about what we're doing here at Music Mondays. So that's all we ask, is that you follow the guidelines, and the only guideline is follow Music Mondays on Twitter. So, I think that does it for audio submissions. Yeah, so Kale, you're good. Dread, you're good. Cole's good. Matt's good. Offspring, we're gonna wrap around to. Bloodcat, Mark, we're gonna wrap around to. Teflon, good. Heretic, good. Absono, good. Let's go, man. You guys did excellent. Shout out to everybody who submitted some audio shit tonight. Let's go, man. So, I think, yeah, we only have 2 left, and they are media submissions. So, up next, we got the homie, King Mark Music, and King Mark has been hanging out in the chat all night. Chat about submissions, just bullshitting it up. Mark's always a pleasure to have in the community, man. Helps me out a ton here on Music Mondays, helps the Music Mondays community, and really just shows a lot of love, man. And on top of all of that, has one hell of a work ethic, really puts in a shit ton of fucking work for their own art, really works hard to improve, and Mark's just somebody that you want to, like, be around when it comes to making, you know, genuine art and real music and new music. And if you're like, damn, like, I want to be passionate, look no further than King Mark, man. For real. So this week, they submitted a track titled Ratchet and Clank, Prod Absono, official music video. Okay. And the caption, let my baby hold the bag when we robbing the bank. Damn. That bro, that could be in, like, so many different flows. I'm excited for this. So, we're gonna fucking pop this bitch open a new tab, and that almost played for us, and that would have been, like, tributary tragic. Okay, so we have an exclusive look at an unreleased King Mark music video, and Absono has just been killing it with fucking working with so many different artists in the Music Mondays community, in, like, the underground community. And Absono's another producer that really, like, really just wants to make really good music and really wants to push their own, like, their own love of art, man. Like, their own, like, okay, like, I'm gonna really go all in on this. And Absono has just been working with so many different talented artists and so many different sounds, and, man, awesome. Dropping in August, I think, sometime after next month. Let's fucking go, Mark. Let's go, man. I cannot wait to react to this. Okay, so unreleased, exclusive Music Mondays premiere, Ratchet and Clank, Prod Absono, official music video, 1080p, full screen. Check this out. No way.
Check it out. Looks like somebody's a big fan of Courtney Cares. Courtney who? Come on, remember that bombshell handing out prizes on Annihilation Nation? Yes. Her specifications were remarkable. Yeah. Well, she's not the hottest pop star in the galaxy because of her singing.
That is odd. It appears this computer was recently used to edit one of her music videos.
Oh, let's watch it. I mean, you know, it may contain a clue or something.
No way. No fucking way, dude. Nah. What? What? Holy. Yo, man. Dude, Bloodcat, I said the same shit. I was like, yo, that's your font for sure. Like, that's your fucking font. Bro, that's like the first thing I said. I was like, no fucking way. Like, that's it. Have it backed up. I totally agree. I totally agree. Okay, so you guys know the drill. Let's break this one down. Holy shit. So we're going to talk about 4 things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. We're going to talk about the overall theme of Ratchet and Clank. And we're going to talk about the visual. So, right off rip, Ab Sono. What a King Mark kind of type beat, right? Like, holy fuck. The mix, to no surprise, Absolo definitely snapped on making like a nice, tight, consistent mix. Everything knocks immensely. Everything is really like very, very consistent across the board, including vocals, 100%. But I'd say Shining Star here for me has got to be the melody. Like the melody, bar none, is just such a King Mark melody, but gives this very like futuristic yet kind of video game, almost kind of peaceful like sound almost. You know what I mean? You have these like higher notes and like this very like kind of like a little bit of like happy vibes. You know what I mean? So I fuck with this instrumental choice a lot for sure, because not only does it fit Mark really well, but I truly feel like Absolo is so talented when it comes to like alternative like kind of instrumentals. When it comes to electric, alternative trap, alternative pop, Absolo does really, really well when it comes to putting their own spin on certain styles. So all in all, instrumental choice is excellent. Huge shout out to Absolo. Shining Star there has got to be the melody, without a doubt. The melody's great. I think Absolo and Mark sound excellent together. I think this is a really, really slept on duo, and I'm glad they finally started working together, because wow. This is like the best we've heard for sure from Absolo and Mark. For sure. Let's talk about vocals here. And you heard me mention it in the whole Gerard track, where I feel like Mark and Cole really leveled up like a lot. And this track is another one where you're like, holy shit. Like, we've heard throwback Mark, we've heard new Mark, we've heard, you know, kind of new Mark, we've heard, you know, feature Mark, we've heard instrumental Mark, we've heard, like, bro, we've heard a lot of King Mark. But the present day King Mark, as to where, like, every time we hear some new unreleased or some brand new shit, it's always, like, so leveled up. It's, like, so fucking leveled up. And right off rip, this mix is excellent. Mark is really, like, hunkered down on a vocal mix and, like, what Mark really wants to sound like on tracks. And I feel like this track is all the same. I feel like this is a very consistent sound compared to what we heard with the Cole track. Which, you know, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do anything. It's not a bad thing if you like your mixes a whole different way. There are tons of artists who do that. But what I'm saying is, Mark definitely took like a specific mix and really like hunkered down and refined it and like really upgraded it and really like became almost like embodied with it and like made it very personal to King Mark. And I fuck with that. So the mix on vocals, excellent, 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 excellent vocal mix. Now, lyrics, man, Mark is leveled on the writing as well. The fucking leveling on the writing is excellent. Like, the witty punchlines and the video game bars and like the very like futuristic staple that we get from King Mark and like going into like the digital universe that Mark brings everybody to. This track definitely kept up with it and like very like I think the shining star has got to be the lyrics just because it's so like it's so easy to visualize what's going on in this track. And tracks like that are so dope because they're almost comfortable tracks, right? Because you can like paint a picture in your head and you're like, oh wow, like Mark's like laying it all out for us. And writing's one part of that and performance is the other part of it. So excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So instrumental. Epsilon did an excellent job. Melody's definitely a shining star. Writing here for sure on Mark's vocals, definitely a shining star for me. I love the punchlines. I love the writing. I feel like Mark's performance and recording is becoming like so leveled up. And on top of it, the flows and cadences, especially for the hook, is like very, it's just so improved. And like you can tell that Mark is really putting in work and going back to the lab and really like, okay, fuck this, that doesn't sound good. Okay, fuck this, that doesn't sound good. Like, Mark knows what's up, man. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Good for you. Good for you. This is a very like, you can just tell that Mark is really like coming up and like really like starting to like take the hammer and nails to like things that Mark feels that he enjoys the most and really like making them shiny. So honestly, like Mark has got to be one of the leading scorers when it comes to like alternative styles of vocals like this. Like now I think about it, like Mark is like becoming such a staple when it comes to like alternative pop and like really different types of mixes, 100%. So I'm a huge fan of this. Let's talk about the theme of Ratchet and Clank. Couple different writing styles here. Couple different punchlines and references and things like that. But all in all, it's about being a duo. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can play on so many things about being a duo, and Mark really does an excellent job. Really just playing off that fact and you know, being a duo like Ratchet and Clank and really like, you know, hold the bag while we robbing the bank. Like, come on, man. Like, that's like one of those things where, it's just like, it's too good to not do, right? And this theme is perfect, man. Ratchet and Clank is such a good theme. Such a good theme to like play off of, and you could like touch on so many subjects, and like anybody could get behind a song like this. Anybody could get behind a song like this, bar none. So the theme is great. I love the theme here. I love the idea behind like this whole title of Ratchet and Clank, and like I knew Mark was gonna go crazy with this. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Between like the digital lifestyle and the whole other slew of like aesthetics Mark has, I knew a track titled Ratchet and Clank was gonna go fucking hard. So, let's talk about the most important thing here. And what is it? The visual, official music video. And Mark says, my computer almost died making this video. And Mark definitely goes through it when it comes to those heavy loaded projects. And man, this was worth it though. This was worth it. Like, PC almost died. Thank God it didn't. But this was worth it because, like Bloodcat said right off the rip, not only is the King Mark font making a comeback, we have the lyrics on screen, but there are so many editing like upgrades compared to the last King Mark visual that we got the chance to take a look at. Like, what the fuck, dude? There are so many fucking like the addition of like more like little things and little edits, like this filter right here, and the Ratchet and Clank gameplay and the fucking cutscenes. Like, there are so many little editing things in this video where I'm like, yo, this is nuts. But to top it all off, though, you have this like sort of like backdrop of this like car, and it's and it makes for this whole like sort of like foundation almost for the visual, right? Because you can use that as like the main core of the visual, and then you have Mark here coming through and like really taking the main part of the visual, and then every once in a while you have the Ratchet and Clank kind of, you know, nods, and then at the end you have the Ratchet and Clank sample, which I loved. But man, this is 100% my favorite King Mark visual for sure. Yeah, see sim racing footage of me and my homie. Yeah, that's man, let's go, dude. Let's fucking go. See, like little shit like that is so fucking cool. Like so fucking cool. Um, you know, this is just a different style. I wouldn't even like call this a level up in terms of editing though. It's like super leveled up. It's super fucking leveled up. Like there's so many new things in here, and like Mark's just really becoming like a director and like really becoming a visionary when it comes to making your own visuals and creating a layout and like doing all sorts of things that you need to do when it comes to breaking down a visual. Like truly. It's 50% opacity. Super hard to see but goes crazy. Build in space. Yeah. Because now that you say it looks good when you're looking for it, and then like if you're not looking for it, you focus on the other parts of the visual, which is like a really dope dynamic. You know what I mean? Like that's such a dope dynamic. So, shining star of the visual has got to be the editing. Mark has leveled up like crazy when it comes to the editing. Bar none, my favorite King Mark visual I have ever seen. I love this. I genuinely love this. Like the Victory Royale, and like I said, like all the little editing things. Like there's so many little gifs, and there's so many like this filter, and like Mark being once again natural in front of the camera, because we've already discussed that previously as to where we already know Mark is comfortable in front of the camera. Mark has no problem getting shots. So it's like, okay, let's do some more shit. And Mark's like, okay, I got an idea. And this is like so Mark, but so like original, and like it like it like is like what Mark loves, right? And like what Mark thinks is dope, and like what people think is dope is usually outside of the norm. So it's just like this like screams like underground. This screams like wait till you see this kind of shit. Because if you do, you're gonna be like, yo, you never heard of this motherfucker, and you show him some shit like this, and you're like, yo, what the fuck? And you're like, this goes insane. Like, this fucks. So it's like, man, so many things I love about this. So many things I love about this. But all in all, I love the ethic, and I love that Mark is leveling up with not only music, vocals, but visuals. Leveling up with visuals is like such, like, it's like, wow. And like, you have all of the King Mark greats in here. Things that Mark really enjoys. Ratchet and Clank, little editing, and lyrics on screen. Like, this is like the perfect, like, DIY visual. Like, we see so many good ones here on the Music Mondays podcast, and like, I'm just so happy that we get the pleasure to be able to react to them and see them. You know, Bloodcat, Mark, Offspring with his edits. Like, there's so many like really good genuine pieces of content, and like this music video and visual for King Mark is like it's easily takes the cake for my favorite. Easily takes the cake for my favorite, without a doubt. Wow, this is awesome. This is fucking awesome. Well done. Well fucking done. So, releasing sometime next, so after next month. So today is June 20th. If you're watching after July, it's probably out. If it's not out, go harass Mark about it and be like, drop the motherfucking visual. This is excellent, man. Huge shout out to King Mark. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much fucking love. Go sub to Mark, man. He's got 23 subs. He's on his road to 30. He's on his way to 30. Seven left. 7 motherfucking left. So, per usual, make sure you follow King Mark Music on Twitter. Mark is on the road to 300. Go show him some love. And of course, per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube reupload. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 60 subscribers. If you already have, thank you. We're uploading a crazy amount of content 2 times a week. We're really hunkering down on a whole lot of things on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, and we really want to grow the channel and show love to more and more artists and show love to the current artists. So thank you. Appreciate you. No, I appreciate you, homie. Thank you. Tekken 3 tournament at 300 maybe. Oh, I'm down. Music Monday is trying to sponsor that shit. I can figure out how to host Tekken 3 online. Shit. We'll discuss some shit. I could do some research. But yeah, let's fucking do this, man. So, last but most certainly not least, Offspring Mysterious. And if you don't know who Offspring is, man, absolutely one of the hardest working underground creatives that we have ever had here on Music Mondays. Between their music, their designs, their edits, their filming, everything about Offspring is like so inspirational, and Offspring is truly an artist that, if anything you can take from, is their ethic. Offspring works their bottom off for sure. Y'all don't want that Tekken smoke? Bro, my Eddie undefeated. You don't even know. Need to brush up. I'm gonna get my ass beat. I ain't playing that shit. But yeah, Offspring's a real pleasure to have around the community. Offspring really opens the gates for other people to submit their content here on Music Mondays, and really sets the precedent that, you know, if you're a producer, do other things. If you're a vocalist, do other things and film and, you know, make content. And, you know, Offspring, you know, goes from top tier instrumentals that are original and super organic, and then, you know, filming a bunch of clips, editing them and posting them on his personal channel. And then you're talking about designs and just so many things about Offspring where you're like, damn, I got to be doing a whole lot more. And Offspring definitely is inspirational for sure. So, with that said, Offspring submitted Walking Onslaught Basketball League Part 6, the finale, the final. It all ends here. This is it. The final showdown. Part 6. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited too. Check this shit out. So, the finale, Part 6. Per usual, we have the precursor in the description. Songs used as well. I always like that Offspring does that. And then, of course, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, FanLink website, repost. Excellent. I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited for this. So, we'll full screen this, but it's longer, so we'll go 720. Walking Onslaught's Basketball League. Part 6. The finale. Not the end. Dude, I know. About to get real as fuck.
go. Bitch.
Damn, Offspring. The fuck? That was good. That was fucking good.
You've come such a long, long way, and I've watched you
I'm a chase down artist.
first day to see how you might grow, to see what you might do, to see what you've been through, and all the ways you've made me proud of you.
Oh, yeah. I'm just scratching the surface.
I'll see how the net hold me. It definitely hold you. He's like, bro, that's a foul, bro. Yo, Ray Blue's popping on me. Hope you're well, my friend.
Oh, yeah. I'm just scratching the surface.
Bro, this motherfucker Offspring just fucking leapt over the guardrail, bro. Like, what the fuck? He hitting him with it. Dude, he really is. He's diffy, bro. He's fucking diffy.
Ah.
256 seconds. Commercial. About to get real. What the fuck? Wow. Uh.
Oh, yeah. I'm just scratching the surface.
Later.
Yo, it's Lord Heretic with a stick. What's poppin', Chief? Hope you're well. What's cracking? Oh shit. W. Buckets is right. Bucket. Bucket. Get fucked. I do want to make that too, merch. Please don't come so fast. Yo, Dog Bull. Yo. He's like, but the dog. Damn. What the fuck? He's like, that's gold. Nah, that's gold. That's fucking gold. Too bad he didn't like the prize. On the bright side, he showed gutsy grit to claim his victory. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Offspring. What the fuck? That was great. That was great. Wow. Okay, I just want to make sure the outro didn't have any secret hidden fucking messages for us, man. But holy shit, let's go, Offspring. Fucking proud of you, man. Proud of you for banging this out. Proud of you for putting this on. Proud of you for enjoying yourself along the way, man. This was a pleasure to view all 6 parts here on Music Mondays. From part 1 to the first game to literally the countless edits, man. Proud of you, bro. I'm very proud of you. For sure. If nobody is, I'm proud of you. Excellent job. All 6 parts down, all well edited. Each one was such an improvement from the last. Totally made me laugh. Lots of bloopers, lots of really, really dope editing. And really like the definition of like what we're all about here at Music Mondays, and passion and hard work and really enjoying yourself is like all keys here for what Offspring is doing, man. It's just so inspirational. You know what I mean? It's just so inspirational to see that there's still creatives out here, pure, and just putting in so much work to be able to like spread their message and spread their passions and spread their everything out to the world, man. And like I said, Offspring's really one of those artists that is gonna open the door for a lot of future people submitting here on Music Mondays. Whether that be vloggers, bloggers, designers, editors, people who make all like forms of it, like independent media, and are just doing different kinds of art. Offspring is going to be the first of many to really open that door and be like, yo, hey, like I do a million things too. Like I produce my own, I edit my own, I post my own, I upload my own. Like, you know, it's just very, very inspirational to see. Very inspirational to see. Because, you know, some artists can do that. Some artists don't like doing that. Some artists can't, don't have the time. Everybody's different. But when it's there, you always got to take note of it, right? And that's definitely one thing I noticed right off rip was Offspring had such a good resume and a good library between music, their designs, their website, their overall writing here, short stories, things like that. Like Offspring has such a wide content base and so much of each piece of content that Walking Onslaughts was like really cool to see from start to finish. It really was. This was a pleasure. This was a real pleasure. I cannot I cannot stress enough that this is something that everybody can take something from, because it's like, damn, I can put in some work and like, you know, go the extra mile to do what you want to do, man. For real. Go the extra mile. So, Offspring, we cannot wait to see what you have in store for us next. Thank you for the pleasure of Walking Onslaught's Basketball League, and thank you for your submission, homie. Much, much fucking love. That was great. Per usual, every artist featured in today's episode, and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload, and make sure you go show Offspring some love. He is 3 away from 90. If I gotta say that one more time, I don't know. Something's gonna happen. But, per usual, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? We upload 2 times a week. We upload full podcast episodes, Music Mondays, segments, exclusives. Everything gets uploaded on the channel. We're putting in a lot of work on the Music Mondays YouTube side of things, so go show some love over there. Go show these artists some love over there. And if you have, thank you. If you haven't, please do. So, holy shit, man. What a night. What a night. Huge shout out to all you guys, man. You guys absolutely killed it. Everybody's leveling up to like this insane degree. Everybody's still putting in so much fucking work. Throwbacks, improvements, Matt, Heretic, like so many artists here tonight really, really fucking killed it. Like truly killed it. But like I said, tonight was more of a chill night anyway, because this week is fucking stacked for Music Mondays, man. We're really stacked over at the office. I'm in the middle of finding new staff members. We have so many new content pieces rolling out this week, and we're on the way to a whole lot of new levels in Music Mondays, man. So huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 74. Huge shout out to everybody who came through and showed love to episode 74. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys make us go around, man. You guys are the reason we do this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I can constantly you know, be reminded that I have a message and a reason to keep fighting for the underground that's important to me. And I'm just really excited for the future. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this week. I'm really excited for the summer. And it's been one hell of a year and a half, man. It's crazy that's only been a year and a half. But man, we got some amazing shit coming for you guys. So glad I could catch the end of the show. So glad you could come through, my friend. I'm glad you stopped by. Yeah, so episode 74, which you watched tonight, will be live on our YouTube this Saturday, Music Mondays. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It'll be available on all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, this Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that as well. So, like I said, man, huge week coming up for Music Mondays. I have a laundry list of things to get done. And I know you guys are going to really enjoy everything that we have in store, man. So, again, we'll just chill out for like a minute or two. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to bring up some shit, you want to know something, let me know, man. But yeah, we have such a good week coming up. I'm not going to spoil too much on the upcoming week. What I will say is, if you're not following us on socials, you will miss it. So make sure you're following us on socials at All Music Mondays. All Music Mondays on Instagram, All Music Mondays on Twitter, and everywhere you hang out on socials, we're there. So make sure you stay up to date with us. Make sure you stay up to date with everything that we're doing, because this week a lot changes and we're launching a few new things. So before I accidentally leak something, the Summer Music Mondays commences, man. So with that said, like I said, huge shout out to everybody who came through, showed love tonight, man. Tonight was very chill. Parallel 2022, to the wheels fall off. Music Monday, supremacy forever. Fuck what you heard. Let them know, Heretic. Let them fucking know, my friends. Let them fucking know. No cap. No fucking cap. Yeah, like I said, huge shout out to everybody who came through, showed love. Huge shout out to Bloodcat, Mark, Offspring, Heretic, Kale, Matt, Cole, Jesus, anybody else who came through, Rabley, anybody else I missed. Thank you guys. Thank you for chilling out with us tonight. I'm gonna go get the week prepared. I'm gonna go get a bunch of stuff in order. Make sure you guys be safe. Thank you for tuning in to Music Mondays, episode 74. I'll see you guys next week for episode 75 of Music Mondays. It's your boy Zom Slays. Take care. And be safe.